all for one, and one for all. That's the motto of the Musketeers of the Guard, or the Musketeers for short. And they were a group that was formed in 1662 by King Louis XIII of France. He wanted an army specifically for him that would serve him, carry out his duties, and he chose the Musketeers. Why are they called the Musketeers? Well, they would wear muskets on their sides. That was one of their weapons of choices. Another weapon was the fencing sword, or a sword. But they would go around on horses, carrying out duties for the king. Alexander Dumas wrote a historical fiction book called The Three Musketeers, based on real people, but he changed a few things. He changed some facts. So I'll be focusing more on the book. Now, in the book, the Three Musketeers were friends. They met in service while they were serving the king. They came together, and people just came to know them as the Three Musketeers. Later on, there was a fourth musketeer, but I'll be focusing on the core three. Now, I believe that having a friend group is good for you. They can help you, they can shape you. When you are being a jerk, they can call you out. So I do have a group like that, and we are dubbed the Three Musketeers by our pastor. And so the people in my group there is Edward Chavarria. He's the oldest. So in the book, one of the oldest musketeers is called Porthos, and he is an old soldier. He's seasoned, he's wise, and he gets along with his friends, but he also can be grumpy and tells them what to do. My friend Eduardo Chavarria, he's older, he's seasoned, he's wise, and he can be a little extra grumpy. And he doesn't really tell us what to do. He actually helps us. The second member of the group, of the Musketeers, is Porthos. Now, he is strong. He's impetuous. He can be stubborn sometimes, but he has a good soul. And that is like my friend Hugo. He's young. He's very strong. He does some boxing and he does some workouts, and he's been teaching me some of those. He can be stubborn, but he's a good soul. The third is the religious ladies' man, Aramis. I can be religious. I try to be a ladies' man. It doesn't always work out. I am the Aramis of the group. There is a fourth member, D'Artagnan. We don't have a fourth member, so maybe some way down the line we can find someone and he can join our group. But I look back at my friendships, and there's been many times that these two men have really helped me form my attitude, shape the way that I see things, because we came together not in the military, but we came together in a group called the Choose to Change Foundation, run by Orlando Salinas. And he takes men, women too, but it was mostly for men at first, who were coming out of prison or just needed guidance. I never did prison yet, but I did need guidance. And ironically, I was one of the first of that group. And then came Eduardo Chavarria. And he came from prison. But he came in humbled, ready to serve. One of the first things he did was he started picking up tables. And I started making coffee. And we started talking, because I know that people would be a little bit afraid of him, and mostly this was people coming out of prison, but they were afraid of this particular man. I don't have the best common sense, so I just talked to everyone. And I made friends with him. and he's one of my closest friends in the Choose to Change Foundation. Later, Hugo came, and he just wanted to better himself. He just needed some guidance, so we took him in. And I think that's why our pastor calls us the Three Musketeers, because we're always together and we're always unified. So last year, before the year was over, I bought 4 copies of the Three Musketeers, and I gave one to Hugo, I gave one to Eduardo, I gave one to my pastor, and for him, I called him the captain of our Musketeers. You would think I would say Orlando, but our pastor, both Orlando and our pastor are great men, but I wanted to focus on my pastor because he's the one that named us that. And he's done a lot for us. I would hear him in prayer, praying for us specifically. And those were the times where I'm thinking, does it matter what I do? Does anyone even notice? And then I hear my pastor praying for me specifically. So I thought he would love a copy. So I encourage you to have a friend group. If you don't have one, find one. Our club president and the world champion of 2024 public speaking, Luisa Montalvo, has her own friend group, and she does have she does have 4 members. It's called the Fab Four. So that did get me thinking, like, oh man, I wish I had a group like that. And then I realized I do. So I do encourage you to find a friend group if you don't have one already, because they will shape you and they will form you and they will tell you when you are messing up, whether you like it or not. Thank you.